Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of SATU TV. I'm Billy Bates.
I'm Jones McShawn. We are Static in the Underground. This is episode 4. Bill, what's good?
What's going on, man?
Shit, bro. All kind of stuff, ain't it?
Yeah, it's been wild, man. A lot of stuff's going down in the last couple weeks.
Let's talk about... What do you want to talk about?
We'll hold off on sports for right now. So let's talk about the Grammys happened last week.
Yeah, they did.
I'm not a huge fan of the Grammys, but I will say, shocker, Killer Mike swept the hip hops. He won 3 of the awards, and a lot of people were shocked that he won Album of the Year. And I'm not upset he won Album of the Year, but it was kind of a shocker to me.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought Travis Scott should have won it. Me personally, I thought Metro Boomin was going to win it for their album, Heroes and Villains.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I thought that was one of the dopest albums this past year, but seeing Killer Mike win it was pretty dope.
I like Killer Mike winning it, man, because he's been at it for so long, man. Run the Jewels.
Yeah.
Dude, they open for Rage Against the Machine. Like they fit every genre.
Right,
like they can perform with anybody. They're that good.
The people who are saying they're upset that he won it don't know who he is, because if they were to listen to him, they'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, this is a hip-hop artist.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were also saying that, Travis Scott, he's gone down that lane kind of like Lil Uzi, where he's more of like a pop star now rather than actual hip-hop artist. But, a lot of people were upset because they think that like numbers should somewhat play into the Grammy, and maybe a little bit, because obviously Travis Scott, Metro Boomin probably had way better numbers.
That's like, but if we talking about numbers, Drake's gonna win every year.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
No matter what. Like just because his name's on it, it's gonna blow out of the water.
Right. Yeah, you're right about that, man. Mm-hmm. That's facts.
I did see people on the internet though, like, name one Killer Mike song. Like,
right.
He won Album of the Year, not Song of the Year.
Well, people were saying that too whenever Pusha T buried Drake in those disses. You remember when and everyone was like, "Yo, whoever said put on that Pusha T track?" It was like, "Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I guess." But
it is what it is.
But yeah, some other stuff from the Grammys. Let's see, we got Metallica won Best Metal Performance.
I saw that.
That was pretty dope. I didn't really care for that track, but seeing Metallica still able to go out there and win awards after all these years is pretty crazy, yeah.
I didn't really care for that song neither, man. I ain't gonna lie, but I mean...
The songs that we're up against weren't that great either, though.
That's true. That's true.
Slipknot probably should have took that award, in my opinion, but...
And...
It was Slipknot, Disturbed, Metallica, and I can't remember who the other two were.
Let me tell you, I'm the biggest Slipknot fan. That song that was nominated, I ain't never even heard it, man.
It was their worst song on that album,
I was like, what is this?
That album was pretty dope. It wasn't as good as their last album, but that was, in my opinion, what it was is they had to pick a radio-friendly song.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. But, and then, let's see, the one, people talk about Killer Mike being like Travis Scott getting snubbed from the award. In my opinion, the person who didn't win that should have was the Country Music Album of the Year went to Lainey Wilson. I'm not hating on her, but it should have went to Zach Bryan.
Boy, what are we talking? Now we're talking. Zach Bryan is the best country artist that I've heard since like back in the day, man. He's true blood, real country music, man.
And that album was so good.
So good. Every song, you don't skip a Zach Bryan song.
And like I said, I can't stress this enough. I'm not hating on Lainey Wilson, but not only should Zach Bryan should have won that award, but I think Tyler Childers was better in her album also.
I think Tyler Childers got snubbed, and this is a controversial topic. A lot of people don't like it, but that video of the year for In Your Love, I think it should have won.
Yeah, it probably should have.
It caused controversy. It showed that he's different from most country people. Right. He's like, I'm not just going to fit and act and say what you want me to say and put that out there. And the story behind it was, I think it was either his brother or his cousin. I'm not sure. But, was his best friend growing up. He was gay.
Oh, okay.
So he was like, I wanted to show like my support for people, and it's just like you can love anybody. You know what I mean? I thought it was a pretty good message. I love that song.
Right.
His first radio song is crazy, man.
Yeah, and it's we've said this before. It's 2024, man. You can't be hating on that stuff no more, dude. Mm-hmm. It is what it is, and like I said, but for sure, Zach Bryan got snubbed on that one.
I think 100%. So as well.
One other thing from the Grammys that I wanted to talk about was Jay-Z when he won. Did you see what he was talking about when he won? He didn't say it exactly, but he basically was saying that Beyonce gets snubbed for Album of the Year all the time. And in my opinion, he even said it in his statement. He was like, how does someone who wins more Grammys than anyone get snubbed from Album of the Year each year? And I'm like, how can you say someone's getting snubbed every year if they have more Grammys than anybody?
Entitlement, bro. This is my thing. If you don't like the Grammys and they're giving you awards and they're inviting you on their platform, if you hate it that much, don't go. Don't show up. If you're going to get an award and like dump champagne in it to show how cool, like Jay-Z is a billionaire.
Both of them are.
What are you complaining about? Like, oh, my wife didn't win Album of the Year. Like, who cares, man?
The two most successful artists, male and female, arguably ever.
And we're gonna go to the Grammys to complain in front of the world.
That would be like her having more Grammys than anyone, and then arguing, you know, that she gets snubbed from Album of the Year. That would be like let's say like Lamar Jackson. Yeah, I got more MVPs than anybody, but man, I ain't won Offensive Player of the Year once.
Look here. Exactly. Exactly.
And
that's like if you're professional wrestling, like I've been 10-time United States champion, 15-time Intercontinental champion, but they ain't put the big strap on me.
Yeah.
Like, dude, come on. And it's never going to be perfect. And people sitting at home on their computers saying how they got the Grammys are just wrong every year. It's like, if you cared that much, why don't you put yourself in a position to be in those rooms making those decisions? Like, your favorite doesn't mean the best.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, everybody's going to have an opinion, but to say that they're just wrong or they don't give enough Grammys to women, they don't give enough Grammys to minorities, it's like you're never going to satisfy anybody with what you give them. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and this is the Grammys aren't your vote.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
watch the People's Choice Awards.
And you know, one of my favorite artists, The Weeknd, he got snubbed 2 years in a row, and he was like, "I'm not going back to the Grammys." Like, there's one way to handle it. Just don't go back. Like,
but don't you think that's just a little immature though? Like,
it is a little bit.
You're inviting me, and I'm not winning. Like, everybody can't win, dude. Like, you know how happy we would be just to be able to get an invite to say that we were that good, that we were nominated? No, you couldn't tell me nothing, man. I'd just be happy to be there. But these people, they get rich and they just think that everything's supposed to be theirs, I suppose.
Yeah, it was.
But I think The Weeknd should have won too, in my opinion, honestly. I love The Weeknd.
Yeah, like I said, The Weeknd's without a doubt one of my favorite artists.
It's our daughter's favorite artist.
Is it?
Yeah, The Weeknd's dope.
Good music taste. Oh, shoot, man. Hey, my bad, y'all. We hey, now I'm in here.
Yeah, so the Grammys was all right though. I wasn't, nothing shocking stood out to me.
No.
I will say the best live performance at the Grammys, hands down, was Tracy Chapman and Luke Combs doing the duet of Fast Car.
I love it,
dude. People don't understand. Tracy Chapman, she does not come out in public. She does one show in Africa like every 5 years, and then she just disappears. She does not come out in public ever. So to see her come to the Grammys and do that song with Luke Combs was awesome.
It was dope, man.
It was so awesome.
So dope.
One of the greatest songs of all time.
It really is, man. That's like we said, that's one of the ones you go to the bar once you have you a couple drinks. We're putting that on the jukebox.
Yeah.
It's going on the playlist.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. The Grammys was all right though. Some other music news. Did you see this? Ozzy calling out Kanye.
I don't think that was definitely a PR team.
You think so?
I think it was PR. I don't see Ozzy like on his computer or his phone like tweeting something. Right. He probably agrees with it.
I think it was his wife. I think it was Sharon, because apparently she called him out on her page also and deleted it. But yeah, basically what it said was that Kanye West asked if he could sample a live version of War Pigs from like 1980 something, and Ozzy said he politely told him no, and then Kanye did it anyways. And I'll say this, if that's actually what happened, Kanye's in the wrong.
Yeah.
You're in the wrong. You can't sample people's stuff without permission or without giving them up a check. So,
right.
You know.
But at the same time, it's not an official release.
Right, right. Yeah, you're right about that.
But I mean, when you're that big and you know that when you post that video, millions of people are going to see it, like, you should respect that. Especially, like, you respect Ozzy enough to want to sample his song.
Yeah.
He says no, then don't. What would Kanye do if somebody asked him for permission to sample a song? He said no, and then they did it anyway. He would freak out.
Well, it's kind of, it's kind of also like just looking at it from a human standpoint. Someone asked you if they could do something. You tell them no, they do it anyways. It's kind of a slap in the face.
It's just disrespect.
Yeah. Now, maybe that's not exactly what happened, but from what it looks like, that's what happened. And if it is, I think Kanye was in the wrong with that. Yeah, man.
But it is a little funny, like the reason why Ozzy doesn't want to say. I mean, we love Ozzy, man.
Yeah,
Hands down, love Ozzy. He said in his time, dude, he's said and done some very questionable things. It was before the internet, but I saw a lot of stuff posted, and one was a clip of him. They was asking where he got his inspiration for his stage performance, and he said Adolf Hitler. I was like, oh, man, that's tough.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's tough, buddy.
That one doesn't go away.
Who we got in here? The Schmo, Randy Modsteller. What's up, everybody?
What's going on? Appreciate y'all checking into the live.
Yeah, man. Shout out live from 3NT Studios. We in here.
Yeah, man.
Y'all know T Keef's in the cut over here.
Oh yeah, always.
Hey.
Barbie posted up on the couch with a broke foot.
Yeah, y'all send some love to my buddy Barbie now. She broke her dang on foot. Ankle. Oof.
Troy put her ass in an angle lock.
Gave her the Kurt Angle though. Dude, that gif you posted on that, bro, that had me dying, man. Troy gave her one of these. Dang, that's crazy.
Oh man. Let's see some other music news. We've got a little bit of a this has just happened today, but we got a new show announcement. Friday, April 12th at formerly known as Gadgets in Lugoff. They're changing the name, remodeling, but Friday, April 12th, we've got our boys in Angry Chair, Alice in Chains tribute band coming down to play. And every single dollar from that show is getting donated to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation.
That's cool.
Great strides, yeah. So definitely, if you're able to come to that show, come on down. Tickets are only going to be $20, and it's going to be an awesome night. Hosted by SATU TV.
Yeah, it is.
As of right now, it's just Angry Chair is definitely going to headline. Don't know if we're going to have anybody else, but we're going to figure something out. But Friday, April 12th. Angry Chair, Alice Change Tribute.
It should be pretty. We got some bands that's been wanting to come in and do some shows with us.
I'm thinking about hitting up Ash Vapor because she's got a band that she fronts, and she has cystic fibrosis.
No.
Yeah, I'm thinking about hitting her up.
That'd be good.
Yeah, and because I know last year whenever we did the show for cystic fibrosis, she had commented like, "Hey, appreciate you guys doing this."
That's dope. She's cool, man.
Yeah, she is cool, man. Shout out Ash Vapor.
Yeah, man.
Check out her stuff on all her social medias. But so that's going on, and then we got our show March 8th at the Rooster in Gastonia.
I'm lit about it still.
I'm so hyped for that show, man. I hope we have some people coming. I won't say names, but there's somebody that might show up that's going to be pretty awesome, pretty exciting. One of the homies. So shout out to the Rooster. Right. That once again is Friday, March 8th. It's going to be Refuser, Fleshgate, Jones McShine himself, Marshall Alexander, Violent End, and headlined by Kendescent.
Yeah, man.
All Carolina bands, all great bands, Carolina artists. It's going to be a great night.
And if you've never been to a SATU show, man, like, I don't like to toot our own horn, but dude, we throw some shows, man. Like, just the people, the vibe that we have when everybody comes, just like a reason for people to be able to just leave all the troubles in life at the door and just have a good time and be themselves, man. Never had a fight, never had anybody kicked out, man. Just good vibes every time. And you get to mingle with the artists. maybe slam some shots, have some beers, just have a great time, man.
Yeah, we might even before the show, we might do a live podcast. We might film a podcast before the show. Maybe
we're doing it.
Do some interviews and all that stuff, man. It's going to be a good,
post-show interviews are going down. Yeah. We're going to start, man.
Post-show press conference.
Post-show press conferences are going to happen from now on. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that goes. Definitely going to film that, post that. Man. It's going to be awesome. But that's Friday, March 8th at the Rooster in Gastonia. Some sad news in music. Man, I tell you, Charlotte has changed so much in the last few years. Basically, it started before COVID, but especially since COVID. Mm-hmm. But the old Noda Studios, where Jones recorded his first project.
First one.
And where we basically got introduced to the music business.
Yep.
Noda Studios is shutting down. I believe March 1st is the final day. They're knocking it down, and I'm pretty sure they're just going to be building apartment complexes.
Dude, if those walls could talk inside of that studio, man. Speaking of our show, Angry Chair, that's where they rehearsed.
Yep.
That was the first time. I remember me and Fury was in there. I don't remember what we were actually working on that day.
We were probably just drunk in the hallways.
Probably. Walking Fury to the bathroom, and we heard something that sounded familiar, and it was Again by Alice in Chains. We were like, yo, who's playing Alice in Chains up in here? And then we saw them at their very first
Later
show.
That year,
I was like, it's meant to be, and they're the homies now, man. Good people, love them.
Yeah, man, I love those guys. But Noda Studios shutting down, man, and it sucks. A lot of good artists started there. Taking Back Sunday recorded a few songs from their first album in that studio.
Really?
Yeah, whenever I saw Taking Back Sunday play at Carolina Rebellion in 2016, and right before they played Cute Without the E, Cut from the Team, which is my favorite song by Taking Back Sunday, he said, yeah, we recorded this song at Noda Studios right up the road.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
It's wild when you think about that, man.
There were some people had some dope setups up in there, man.
Dude, our boy Dan Royer lived in there, man.
What? I'm talking about live.
Megan, our homie Megan, she had her whole hair studio in there.
Art studio. Yep. There was a producer that was right down the hallway from our studio that we recorded that, dude, and he had his hooked up, man. It was sweet. He had the light, like the LED lights. And
it was cool because it was multiple studios with doors, and then there was a hallway, and then there was like a general like area where there was like a vending machine that was always empty, a couple couches that were found on the side of the road, and then there was the bathrooms, and there was always some random homeless person sleeping on those couches. Usually ended up being one of our buddies. You know, we'd go in there like, hey man, what's up?
What's up, man? You sing or something? There'd be people you could just, if you wanted an instrument, you just walk around and ask, hey, what do you play, dude? Trombone players, like anything you can think.
Jazz musicians.
You can get anybody in there to play anything, man. You could really create some dope stuff in there. It's sad to see that go, man. And how many people's, independent music careers are going to be over because of it.
Yeah.
I mean, those, and then every time a studio gets tore down or a venue gets tore down, the next one gets to raise their prices, raise their booking fees, raise drink prices, raise door, the door play. It's crazy how expensive and limited things are getting, especially with music. It makes me sad, man.
Yeah, and which brings me to my next thing is, man, the last great hope in Charlotte, in my opinion, is the world famous Milestone.
Yes, it is.
I went to a show there last week. I went and saw Southpaw, Florida Hardcore, and our homies in Violent Life, Violent Death opened up. And there was another band called Jiu-Jitsu who's very new, very young. They were awesome.
They killed it.
What met style? Those guys. Hardcore, yeah. Go. So they came on stage, and to get everybody hyped, the guitar player ran in the crowd and started moshing like before music was even playing.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Check those guys out. Jiu-Jitsu out of Charlotte. And,
sweet. Look at Troy hooking it up, man. That's what's up.
But yeah, the Milestone is the last great hope in Charlotte. If you've never been to a show at the Milestone, it's a little 150 capacity, little punk rock joint. And there was probably, I know the show wasn't sold out, but there was definitely over 100 people there the other night, and it was packed. So much fun, man.
I had to miss it, man.
Yeah, it was a great show.
Photographer got a good shot of my boy Bill Bates over here, dude. That's classic. You got to get that blown up and put on the wall. Yeah,
that's one of my favorite photos of myself ever. Yeah, there was a lot of videos on Instagram. Southpaw was sharing basically everyone's videos that got some live videos of the set, and you could just see me and the homies running around moshing. I met a lot of people there. Did some good networking too, man. I talked to that young band Jiu-Jitsu after they got off stage. I talked to those guys, and you know, I told them I'd definitely hit them up in the future about getting on shows, and we're definitely going to try and book a show at the Milestone this year for sure. Hopefully this summer.
Ooh, summer shows at the Milestone.
It's going to be hot as hell, but it's going to be awesome. But yeah, man, the Milestone is the last great hope in Charlotte, and I hate seeing a city that we really fell in love with. It's not the same that it was, man.
I wonder if the Rabbit Hole is still open. That's where like De Niro, Ferrar, and them and the Baby like used to perform like when they were.
Yeah, we'll have to check that. We'll have to look that up and see if that's still there.
What was that other venue that we did that Halloween show at? It was the Trippy Hippie or the Dirty Hippie or something.
The Dirty Hippie.
That was a cool little spot.
It was, but I don't know if that's still around or not.
I think it closed not long after we did our show, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the only other music venues in Charlotte besides the Milestone are all like Live Nation venues, like the Fillmore and stuff. But
expensive.
What can you do, man?
You can't do nothing.
Yeah. So shout out Milestone.
Yeah, shout out to
the last great hope of Charlotte. But
Ryan Donahue, what's up, big dog? Some bitch. I like that.
Hell yeah. Let's see. We got anything great? Yeah. Shout out to everybody that's watching us right now. This will be posted immediately after. You can rewatch it, or whoever didn't watch it live can watch it.
Yeah, man.
Oh man.
Share it on your Facebook, your Instagrams, and X's or whatever, Twitter.
Yeah, whatever they call it nowadays. Whatever the youngins call it.
They call it tweeting on X.
Tweeting on X.
Man, we used to do MySpace on X, dude.
Shoot, I used to tweak on X back in the day.
Oh, man, we're nuts.
Oh, man. Dude, some random news. Did you see this this body cam footage of this cop video that came out of them? Dude, it's wild. So it happened back in November, and the body cam footage just got released. But two cops got called to this girl's house, and the girl was like, "Me and my boyfriend broke up. He stole my car. Blah blah blah. No, he damaged my car. Blah blah blah." And they showed him the text message of him saying he was going to do it and whatever. And so they arrested him, put him in handcuffs, patted him down, put him in the back seat of the car. As the cops walking around the car, an acorn drops on the top of the car. Cop hears it, thinks it's gunshots, dives. Shots fired, shots fired. Him and his partner shoot the cop car that the guy's in the back seat in, handcuffed. Unload, both of them unload their whole clips into this car. Dude, luckily the guy's not injured. He didn't get hit. Miraculously, he didn't get hit. They unloaded 2 full clips into their own cop car.
Is this it?
Yeah, that's it right there.
Oh, God.
Dude, watch this. It's wild.
Oh, shit.
Listen, you can't even hear it. Shots fired, shots fired.
Oh, shit.
He's diving out of the way. And him and his partner. Dude. Luckily.
He thought he got shot.
Yeah, he thought he got shot.
What?
His cop thought he got shot.
Yo, who hires these people?
So this cop is resigned, obviously, and I'm sure some other terrible things are going to happen to him. Justified, you know. But this is, cops.
Run it back to the acorn?
Dude. You can't even hear it almost. You could kind of see it. It drops on the top of the car. Bing, right there. My man is so paranoid.
This is real.
Yeah.
This is like some Reno 911 shit.
It does, dude. It's like Reno 911.
And they didn't even hit the dude anyway?
No, he's fine. Thank God.
Dude,
thank goodness the guy didn't get hit.
Bro, he's about to be so paid, man.
But this is you.
I want to see the video of whenever all the other cops show up and hear this shit.
You don't want to. Police serve a purpose, but it's cops like this that make people not respect police officers. Exactly. Man, you're that paranoid about nothing. Your job is hard and stressful, but dude, you're shooting at someone who's handcuffed in your back seat because you thought you heard a gunshot and you thought you got shot. I've never been shot. I've never been shot. Hopefully never will. I'm pretty sure if I ever got shot, I would know I got shot.
You'd have.
I wouldn't guess I got shot.
Who hears something that quiet and thinks that a handcuffed man in a back seat is shooting at them? Did he think he heard a gun cock, maybe?
He says, shots fired, I'm hit. Dives on the ground. Dives on, dude, like you said, that's like Reno 911, man.
Did the acorn hit the top of the cop car?
The top of the cop car. There's one video I saw where they slowed it down and you could see it. It bounces off the top of the cop car. Shots fired. Man.
That's nuts, dude. That's scary.
One thing's for sure, police officers need more training. They need to go on longer training courses. They need to get retrained every so often. And man, so that cop obviously is being made a clown all over online.
Bro, I wonder if they're gonna share the video of inside the cop car, like the dash cam on the inside of the dude.
I want to see a video of him sitting down with his captain explaining what he thought happened.
I'm telling you, like, what do you do when like all your backup comes and thinks that one of their fellow officers is shot?
By an acorn.
By an acorn.
By an acorn. And then you unloaded the whole clip into the car.
The whole thing. And both of them, both officers. There was another cop on the other side. That is hilarious. It's not funny. It's not funny because that guy could have got hurt. They could have killed that guy for nothing.
The outcome and the fact that he's fine.
It's funny how dumb that cop was. That's what's funny in that situation.
That's blowing my mind right now.
Yeah, man. Like I said, you want to police officers serve a purpose, but man, it's police officers like that were they give cops bad names,
Now you pull some over, like you look nervous. Like, yeah, I'm nervous. I just saw a video of one of y'all getting shot by an acorn. Like, nah, bro.
Like, how am I supposed to respect any police officer on that force?
Man, there's acorns all over the place. Like, well, you might fuck around and have a pine cone fall on you. What you gonna do then?
Yeah, what happens if a bird shits on the
car? Crash that motherfucker. Yeah. Shot fired! Shot fired!
Oh my goodness, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. Hey, did you take those smelling salts home?
Bro, I did. I've used them twice in the gym. One time was tonight.
Them things are wild. If y'all didn't see, watch episode 3. We hit some smelling salts.
Yeah, man.
Change your life.
Dude, them things really work when you in the gym. And once you start to feel your blood pumping after you hit that thing one time, that's all you need. Just run it across your bro. Dude, I saw a video. The running back for the Philadelphia Eagles. I can't remember his first name. It was Swift, number 6.
Yeah.
It was a video of one of his coaches holding one of those bottles, looked just like the shit that you bought. And this motherfucker hit that thing like 3 times, bro, close. And like he was just holding it. Dude was like,
I couldn't do it.
I was like, yo, my man is gonna have a heart attack.
Yeah, that's wild, man. We can swap over to sports for a little bit. The first big thing I want to talk about. We all knew it was coming, but EA finally announced today that College Football 25 is coming out this summer. Officially 100%, which we knew it was coming, but they said they're going to do a full reveal in May, and the game's coming this summer. And past, NCAA footballs always came out in July, so look for that. It's going to be called EA College Football 25, and it's going to have everything. It's going to have Dynasty Mode. It's going to have the NIL deal stuff, which I'm not hype about. It's going to have all that. Speaking of NIL deal, did you hear this Maryland head coach?
No, what happened?
For those of y'all who don't know, the college football, this NIL deal is really, it's good for the players because they deserve to get paid, but it's really damaging these programs that are trying to keep these guys at their school. So Maryland football didn't have a great year this year, but they made it to a bowl game. But their coach did an interview, and he said that their last game of the regular season was against Rutgers, which is a rival. And they beat Rutgers, which was, they were the underdog, so it was an upset that they beat Rutgers. And the coach said that was the worst game he's ever had because immediately after that game, all his players were talking about NIL deals to get them to stay to come back next year. He claims, now, he might have just been talking off his head, but he claims that his third string running back said, I need $100,000 to stay here next year.
Get out
Third string running back.
20
If
years old,
if that's true, imagine how much that first string running back's getting paid. One thing that's got to change is they need to come up with contracts. You're going to sign this contract just like the NFL, and you're going to play for this amount of years or whatever, you know?
Dude, a lot of that money on them NFL contracts is incentives. Like, you got to have so many touchdowns, so many yards, like things like that. Like, if you allow more than this many sacks in a season, you don't get this amount of money.
Yeah, and in some cases that works out good for the players. I know Baker Mayfield made most of his money this past year on incentives.
Oh, I bet.
He had, I think he made like $4 or $5 extra million this year just on incentives. Like, I know one of them was like playing 80% of the games, playing 80% of the offensive snaps, make it to the playoffs, have, you know, be in the top 10 in passing yards and touchdowns. And he that was his big part of his contract was incentives.
NFC South Championship, he probably got something good.
And he's definitely going to get a fat contract this offseason because he played so good.
You think the Bucs are going to re-sign him?
I don't know if they re-sign him, but wherever he goes, he's going to get paid.
Would you re-sign him?
I mean, who else is out there? Do you have the draft pick to draft one of these young guys? I don't think they do because they made it to the playoffs. So
I don't know, unless they see something in one of the quarterbacks, you know, this you know, third, fourth, fifth quarterback in the draft.
Yeah, a lot of people are talking about this, speaking of the draft, talking about this Caleb Williams, because everyone's still projecting him to go number 1, but the Bears have the number 1 pick, and they're at a weird place because do you want to stay with Justin Fields or do you want to start over again? And Justin Fields has shown that he can't do it by himself. But I think if he had a good squad around him, he's shown that he can play well with.
That's what I was saying. I would just go with him, man, and just try to get other people to like get good draft picks. The Bears, give them some weapons to go in free agency, dig in your pockets. You know what I'm saying? But I'd keep him at least another year. Is he still under contract?
I think so.
I'd keep him until the contract. So you might as well.
Yeah, and I'm a kind of a Bears fan. I got a lot of family from up there. The Bears are kind of like my second team in the NFL. But the Bears also have two first round picks, and they have several picks this draft. And what I think they should do is they should try to trade that number 1 pick to either Pittsburgh or the Patriots, who are still in the top 5. Get their pick plus another late round pick. And they need to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. from Ohio State and then draft him some offensive linemen. That's what they need to do.
That's a good plan.
I would keep Justin Fields because
give Marvin Harrison Jr.
Because
like nice tight end. You know what I mean? Who's the tight end for the Bears? Like who? I know they still got DJ Moore, right? He's coming back.
DJ Moore's there.
So if you give him DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison Jr. because he's pro ready, dude. He's gonna ball out.
Yeah, he is gonna ball out. And yeah. Speaking of NFL, congratulations, Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah,
winning the Super Bowl.
They did it, man.
Yeah, that was a great game.
But dude, what do you think about Kyle Shanahan firing defensive coordinator? He held the Chiefs to 19 points in regulation in the Super Bowl.
And the defense is what got them there this year.
I mean, they say that.
I'll tell you what, he ain't going to be jobless for long.
Can't be. Ray? Oh,
what's
Razor.
up, Razor?
Yo, what's good, dog?
Hell yeah. But yeah, shout out Kansas City Chiefs winning another Super Bowl. 2 in a row, going for number 3 next year. And Andy Reid announced he is coming back. There was some talk about him possibly retiring, but he did announce he's coming back next year, so that's good for them. Yeah. The awards, the NFL awards, Lamar Jackson winning MVP. I don't know if that's so much a shock, but I thought Christian McCaffrey should have won it, but he did win Offensive Player of the Year, so that was good.
Yeah.
And
I ain't mad at it. I mean, they're gonna give it to the quarterback over the running back.
That's fine. And
did Derrick Henry win MVP that year? He rushed for over 2,000.
No.
You know,
a running back hasn't won it since Adrian Peterson. I think it's always been a quarterback since forever, except for Adrian Peterson and a few other people.
I think Derrick Henry that year rushing for over 2,000 yards.
The only reason that he didn't win is because they didn't go deep in the playoffs.
That's got to be it.
It's yeah. And Hall of Fame this year though, Julius Peppers.
Yo,
first ballot Hall of Famer.
Carolina Panther legend.
One of the goats.
Carolina Tar Heel legend. Football and basketball.
Shout out Julius Peppers, man.
Yeah, man. We love you, Pep.
Yeah, Julius Peppers went in. Devin Hessner finally got in. Best returner of all time.
He deserves that, man.
Yeah, there's some people saying, well, he didn't do nothing, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, he's the greatest returner of all time. What are you talking about? He didn't do nothing.
Motherfuckers would kick the ball out of bounds before they kick that shit to him.
Yeah. So that's good. And what is it? Next year, the notable first ballot people that are up next year is pretty stacked. Next year could possibly be one of the most stacked Hall of Fame ceremonies of all time. Mm-hmm. Let's see who we got. So next year for the Hall of Fame first ballot, we got Eli Manning, Luke Kuechly, Marshawn Lynch, Clay Matthews, and Adam Vinatieri. That's pretty stacked.
That's stacked. That's pretty stacked,
man.
You think they'll all go in?
For sure, Eli Manning and Adam Vinatieri. Clay Matthews, I mean, he's in his prime. He was one of the best linebackers in the league in his time.
How long was he actually like a starter? And
I mean, he played for a while. He was obviously known for his time with Green Bay, but he played for the Rams after that, and he had good years with the Rams after that too. Yeah. So I think Clay Matthews will go in. I hope Luke Kuechly goes in, as a Panthers fan. Dude, his career was cut short because of concussions. He retired early, but
when you speak of like the greatest linebackers, especially like in our lifetime, dude, like it's Ray Lewis and it's Luke Kuechly. Everybody knows it, bro. Luke Kuechly was an animal.
Yeah, if Luke Kuechly had stayed healthy and played his whole career, he'd still be playing right now, and he would still be one of the best in the league. There's so many videos of and there's so many interviews of quarterbacks saying like, we'd come to the line and he would just yell our play out from him studying film so much. Yep. He'd say, "Oh, the ball's going to running back to the right. Everyone shift." You
could tell, dude. Like, he just right there every time.
Every time, and he was just a headache for guys and one of the hardest hitters. Very, very smart on the field.
Aggressive.
Whenever he was in the league, he was the best in the league. There was no argument to that, in my opinion. But
we got Ray Lewis, the greatest linebacker of all time.
Everyone says Lawrence Taylor is the greatest of all time, but Lawrence
middle linebacker.
Right. Yeah, I think Ray Lewis is goated. Yeah, he had a long career. Brian Urlacher was very good.
He was who I was thinking about as well.
Everyone says Lawrence Taylor was the best defensive player ever, but whenever there's interviews with Lawrence Taylor saying he wasn't smart, like he didn't know his own plays. Like he always said one of the reasons he had so many sacks was because whenever the defense would call a play, and if he didn't know it, he would just blitz.
Damn.
Straight up. But it worked out for him.
He said, fuck it.
Yeah, it worked out for him, man.
But he kind of created that outside linebacker, like,
and he was a savage,
position,
man.
Like rushing the passer rather than playing run.
He was
first.
Mean, yeah. So there's been so many great linebackers, but I think Ray Lewis is the GOAT, middle linebacker for sure. And that's the Hall of Fame. Somebody said with basketball though, I hate the Lakers.
Hate the Lakers?
I ain't mad at that. Basketball's kind of odd this year. I'm not. It's getting so pitter patty with these fouls, man, and it's just not fun. And I mean, I'm still gonna watch the playoffs and the end of the season because that's whenever it starts getting really exciting. Basketball and baseball seasons are too long, man. They're especially baseball, dude. 162 games.
The thing is, it's just so hard to keep up with. How am I supposed to give a fuck
about the first 100 games?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like, I love the Braves. I'm a huge Atlanta Braves fan, but it just pops up every time on my phone notification when they play and if they win or lose or not. I'm like, okay.
Whereas, if you're a football fan, it's like, damn, we lost this week, dude. That's going to hurt our, end of season run.
And it's
with
one
baseball,
game
it's like, oh, we lost 4 games in a row. That sucks. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, like every game matters in football, and in baseball and basketball, you can kind of fall off and jump back on if you know your players. Like,
yeah, hockey has a lot of games too, and I think hockey season should be shorter simply because of injuries. Man, that's such a rough sport, dude. Hockey, I've had this debate many times, and
how many games do they play in the NHL now?
I'm not 100% sure, but I know that the hockey playoff is the hardest playoff because it's just like the NBA. They play 7 games, but it's hockey.
It's crazy,
dude.
Man.
You have to beat you have to go through 4 rounds of the playoffs in hockey of 7 games, dude. There's been teams that win all 7 games every round. Like by the end of the hockey season, it's like, yo, who's got the most starters left? Like that are healthy. You know
that. They'll clear a hockey player like with pulled hamstrings. Like the shit that I've seen these hockey players and like the lacrosse players, like they do some crazy shit while they're hurt.
Yeah, man. And like in hockey, dude, you can fight. That's the best part, man.
They let you get down. NHL is getting better though, dude. I'm starting to really get into hockey. Like
they say, I haven't been to a pro hockey game live, but I've been to a college hockey game live, and they say it's the best live thing to go to, and it is fun, man. Hockey's really fun.
I went once as a kid to see PD Pride play, the minor league soccer team, hockey team in Colombia. It was dope, man. Like they had like the live DJ out there playing. Like it was just so cool. Like when they scored the goals and all the sirens going off, everybody was loud. It was cool.
Yeah, whenever I was in high school, I had 2 cousins that were around my age that moved down here from Minnesota. From Massachusetts. And down here in the South, they don't have high school teams, but they have high school leagues. So they moved down here from playing like super competitive northern hockey. Mm-hmm. And they joined a high school league down here, and they were just fucking motherfuckers up.
That's great.
Like they came down here and they got on a team that was pretty bad, and they instantly made them so much better. And they were clearly like 2 of the best players in the league down here. Like just from, it'd be the same case if like someone who played football their whole life down here moved up north while they were in high school. Like they would clearly probably be better than everyone else. You know what I mean?
No offense.
No, it's just
we the ones down here.
Dude, you want to talk about wrestling? Go to the Northeast. The Northeast, like New Jersey, dude, wrestling, savages up there, man. It's like the whole, like how we do football where the whole community comes to watch games. They do that for like basketball and wrestling up there, dude. It's wild. Yeah, it's pretty sick, man. But, let's see what else we got on here. We got so some good news sports wise. I don't know if you saw this. So every year college football they have the Senior Bowl, and it's kind of like the Pro Bowl. Yeah, it's kind of like the Pro Bowl. You come in, you do a few plays, a couple drives, and
they
then
have different rules. You know what I'm saying? So
but our boy from Spencer Rattler winning MVP. That was pretty sick.
He did, man. You think that got some more eyes on him?
Apparently, the Eagles were talking to him and what's his name, Leggett. That played for us. Apparently, the Eagles were talking to them the whole weekend. Yeah. Have Spencer Rattler become a backup for Jalen Hurts.
Hey.
Be pretty sick.
That would be pretty sick. And if he's there when they pick, why not?
Yeah.
Worst thing to happen, you just give him a contract and you want to let him go.
Yeah. Hockey fights are illegal now. Yeah, they still happen, though. It sucks they don't happen as often, but I get it. They're trying to keep everyone safe, but I mean, there's still some goons out there that throw hands.
Yeah, they do. I've seen a few videos from this season.
Yeah.
Refs just waiting on them to fight.
Yeah. Yeah, they need to, obviously you don't want fights to go on the whole game. So,
It's a part of hockey.
It is part of hockey, and I wish it was part of baseball. I love seeing baseball fights, man. I don't like NASCAR, but whenever I see highlights of like pit crews fighting each other in NASCAR, that's always pretty sick.
Not lit, like drivers getting out the car, like, you motherfucker, you cut me off, bitch. And these motherfuckers been in a fucking car going 150 miles an hour for the past 3.5 hours. They're probably stressed the fuck out.
Yeah. So
you imagine that, bro? That's nuts if you really think about it.
Yeah,
right?
it is. Some other news. I saw this today for Carolina, but we're bringing back Sean Elliott. Did you see that? Camden's own Sean Elliott.
Really?
Yeah, he's going to come back and be the tight ends coach and running game coordinator for South Carolina next year. So that's a good hire.
Tight ends and running game. That's interesting.
Yeah, Sean Elliott from Camden, South Carolina. He was a offensive assistant during the Spurrier days, and so it's pretty good to get him back. He's been at I think he's been at Georgia State the last few years.
Do we have a guaranteed starter yet? Like, are we going through training camp to find out?
We got that quarterback from Auburn who started for Auburn last year, but we also got what's his name, number 16, that guy who played in a few games this year.
I remember his name.
He balled out, man. He's fast, so definitely going to have a quarterback battle for the starting spot this year. Obviously, Carolina Gamecocks have a super tough schedule again.
Always.
It's not as tough this coming year as it was in the last couple years past, but it's definitely going to be interesting this college football season with Alabama having a new coach and basically a lot of their players leaving. This NIL stuff is wild, man. It gives me a headache every time I see it.
It is crazy because before that, you kind of knew who was going to be good because everything was kind of solidified. Like, you went to a college, you were there. Like, not many people transferred. Now they have this portal and NIL deals where schools are going to have to pay to get players. And, dude, like, eventually the schools that have the most money is going to have the best players.
Exactly, because you have these schools. A lot of people don't know this.
The NFL is not like that. You got to draft these players. These they get to pick.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know this, but these big schools, these SEC schools, these Big Ten schools, they have a lot of boosters. They have way more boosters than these smaller schools.
Like Texas and shit like that.
Right, and whenever you have a guy, for instance, for South Carolina, from what I understand, is like Jim Hudson, one of the biggest car dealers in the state.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, bam, all the players get new cars. You come play here, you get a new car. Like, if I'm 18, I want a new car. Some NIL dude, like,
just come right over here to Columbia, South Carolina, man. They party like hell. We'll give you a brand new car.
Now, and people will argue that that's been going on the whole time. You're probably right, but now they don't have to hide it no more. It's all in the open. Like,
crazy.
All right, man, the NIL deal, you get a free car and we'll sign you to a $100,000 deal, and and then the player can come here and then leave next year. So I definitely think they're going to start implementing contracts for these players.
They're going to have to, because now these kids are going to, if it was me, I'd be like, damn, I'm going to just go to somewhere different every year and just ball out all over the place.
Yep.
Get a different deal every year.
For sure. Another funny thing in sports, did you see this this thing with the Packers? So the Green Bay Packers, have their defensive coordinator job is open, and one of their fans sent them a resume, like a fan. It was as a joke, but he sent them like his fantasy football resume and stuff, and the owner of the team sent him a handwritten letter back, basically saying, we appreciate your you submitted a resume, and yes, your fantasy football record is very impressive, but we're gonna have to go a different route. But we think the Chicago Bears have an opening at defensive coordinator, so they had to throw a jab at the Chicago Bears back at them.
That's dope, man.
That is pretty funny though. Probably like, you should apply for that job as a joke.
You know what? I'm gonna do it.
Yeah,
that's great.
Oh man, I've been seeing a bunch of stuff on YouTube and TikTok and stuff talking about the soccer World Cup is going to be. Some of the games are going to be in America this year. I don't know if the whole thing is going to be in America, but some of the games are definitely going to be in America. Mm-hmm. And one of the stadiums that got selected is in New Jersey, where the Jets play. And it's just videos of people like, yo, wait till Europeans come here and see this shithole of New Jersey that they gotta drive through. Like, and it's a video of Furio from Sopranos, like whenever he came to America. Yeah. And he's in the cab and he's just like looking at McDonald's and stuff. And he's like, what the fuck? It's like, that's what it's gonna be like. Yeah. A lot of people are upset the World Cup's in America because, like, for instance, the last World Cup was in Qatar and they had all the stadiums in walking distance. Mm-hmm. And here they're talking about doing like games in New York, Miami, LA, Dallas. You're not going to be able to go to all the games.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They were putting in real grass in all these stadiums just for them to play games.
They should have been doing that. There should be real grass in every NFL stadium.
You imagine if you was an NFL player and you've been asking for that for years, and they're gonna put real grass in for the soccer thing. Then when it's over, they're gonna take it out and put the same shit back in that was already in there. That's fucked up.
I think it's
they fucked that.
Arizona and Miami have two very good programs for their real grass in their stadium. Miami owns their own grass farm. In Florida.
The Dolphins?
Yeah, they own a grass farm. I saw it on Hard Knocks this past year. And they have the guy who owns the farm, he says, I have anywhere between 9 and 12 fields of grass grown. Mm-hmm. And they just roll it up and take it to the stadium. And it's real grass that's grown like on a farm. So that's cool. And then the best one is Arizona.
That feels nice.
Every new stadium should do this. So Arizona, where the Cardinals play, their grass field retracts to outside whenever the game's not on because it's a dome. They have a dome.
Right.
So whenever the game's over, the field just goes outside. They roll the field outside so it can get sun and stuff outside and grow. And then whenever it's game time, they just wheel it back into the stadium. Every stadium should be like that. There's no reason for these guys that keep getting hurt on these artificial turfs. Every stadium should have real grass.
Especially because every NFL player agrees, and they can show them stats. Like, look how many people get hurt playing on grass. Like, that's not the point. It's like, y'all can afford to put actual grass will make us feel better. Put fucking grass in here.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell are we talking about?
Especially with the NFL being the most profitable sports organization in America.
And making more every year.
Every year.
$7 million for a Super Bowl commercial?
$27 million. $27 million for a 30-second ad.
God damn.
Yeah, man. No, there was a couple Super Bowl commercials this year that were all right. Oh, we didn't talk about it. We talked about Super Bowl earlier, man. The halftime show was fire.
I loved it, bro.
I thought it was great, man. I was a little iffy about it, but yeah, I thought it was fire. Mm-hmm. Ludacris came out, Lil Jon.
Yeah, Jermaine Dupri out there.
Dude, looking like... berries and cream. Yeah, berries and cream.
Looking like a Oompa Loompa.
Yeah.
Doopity-doo.
Oh, man. Looking like a big-ass baby running around.
And Ludacris come out with the old-school afro, too. Had them all dressed like Ben Stiller and Dodgeball.
Yeah,
that shit
sick.
Was funny. But yeah, it was dope. Lil Jon, when that turned down for what came on, bro, I was like, yo, this
and Lil Jon was in the crowd.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't even on stage. He was just in the crowd. That was awesome.
Super Bowl's in Louisiana next year, man. Everybody's calling. The people want Lil Wayne.
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying
Wayne
that.
In Louisiana Super Bowl might as well.
Yep.
If you can get Lil Wayne to do it, you know Drake will do it.
Yeah,
like that, dude, that shit would be off the chain.
Right. Unfortunately, it's getting to the point where like you can't really have a band do it. It's not there. You need an artist that's world famous and that can still put on a good show, and I think that's been proven in the last few Super Bowl halftime shows.
And they always make sure it's never somebody that's kind of like, no, you have to be already solidified and already be a household name.
And I always like the special guests. You never know who it's going to be. You know, like I remember when Katy Perry had hers, and she brought out Missy Elliott.
Yeah,
that was pretty awesome.
Out of nowhere.
Had all these young kids like, yo, who is this Missy Elliott? She's about to blow up. Yeah, man.
How nice of her to give her a platform.
Yeah, look like Boss Baby. Hell yeah.
Yeah, he did.
So yeah, that halftime show was dope, and the game was good though. I wasn't upset with the Super Bowl. Not there wasn't any really memorable commercials though. There was a couple of them that made me giggle.
Like
but,
the one with Tom Brady was funny.
Yeah, that one was pretty funny. Anybody but Tom Brady with him, and it was oh man, what's that actor's name? Vince Vaughn. Love Vince Vaughn. But oh dude, you see Shane Gillis is on SNL this month? He's hosting SNL with 21 Savage.
With that 21's
gonna be a musical guest.
That's gonna be.
I tell you, talk about a full circle. Shane Gillis got hired by SNL, immediately got fired the same day because they went back and saw some clips from an old podcast episode. And he got canceled and immediately got more famous from it. Like, it made him more famous. And now, 4 years later, they want him to host because he's one of the biggest comedians in the world right now with how popular he is.
Dude, you see Anthony Jeselnik's going to be in Charlotte this year?
Yeah, I'm thinking about going.
I really want to try to go to that.
Yeah, I want to try and see... I'm going to... I got tickets to the Comedy Zone in Charlotte in April to go see the Are You Garbage guys. Those dudes are pretty funny. They got a podcast on YouTube called Are You Garbage, and it's two comedian buddies. And they bring on other comedians, and they ask them questions about them growing up and stuff. And at the end of the episode, they determine if they're garbage or not. And it's funny because if you're a member of their Patreon, you can send them questions. Like, is it garbage if blah, blah, blah? And then they give their opinion. And one of them that made me laugh was they were like, is it garbage if... a police officer have ever asked your mom or dad to put out a cigarette? Like, excuse me, sir, you mind putting out that cigarette? Like, nah, I'm good. Like,
I can't smoke a cigarette.
Yeah. Dang. Just stuff like that, man. It's pretty funny.
I remember getting arrested one time for like drunk in public or something stupid one time when I was younger. And I was like, man, can I at least smoke a cigarette before we go to the jail? He said, no, you may not. This motherfucker put me in the cop car in the front seat and lit up a cigarette and rolled the window down. I was like, you motherfucker.
Damn. That's
no,
funny
that shit is illegal as hell. Cops can't do that.
Yeah, man.
Funny story. That shit was funny.
That is funny. This Sunday we'll have our first ever episode with our guest.
Yeah,
first ever guest episode. We filmed it last week with Shane Dorr, owner operator of Palmetto Championship Wrestling.
Oh God!
So if you're a wrestling fan, definitely check that out.
Got to, dude. I'm really happy with how that interview came out, man. Like, that was legit for our first time.
Yeah, it was cool. Me and Shane got a lot of history, so we were able to dive back in time a little bit. Yeah,
there's a lot of good stories in there, man. Yeah. Like, that's something you could always go back to, man. Even if you're not a fan of wrestling, man, check it out because it's a funny episode, man. We get down on some real shit on that one.
Yeah, man, that was a great episode, and we'll have more live episodes and interview episodes coming out as we get going. You know, we've just been really busy here lately. Yeah, we also still have an episode in the hole for the Lost Tape episode.
Yeah, we have a Lost Tapes episode. It was the last one that we pre-recorded.
Yep,
but we got it now and.
We'll post it whenever we feel like it.
Yeah,
it'll get posted at some
for that.
point.
We'll let you know.
Yeah,
on one of our social medias. Plug in.
Yep.
Hit us up.
Yeah, man. Follow Jones X McShine.
At Jones X McShine on everything. Obviously, we right here, Jones McShine on YouTube.
Yep, and I'm Billy Bates. Literally, I'm Billy Bates on Instagram and Billy Bates Booking at gmail.com. Any show inquiries or anything like that?
Anything, hit us up, man. You can get a hold of me on email at SATU Music LLC at gmail.com.
Yep.
I almost didn't get that one out. I got brain stuck for a minute. Like, what is my email?
Yep. And yeah, man. I think you got anything else? Oh, one other Kanye story. Apparently, I don't know if it's true or not. But apparently the troll of Kanye, he bought the suite that was in front of Taylor Swift during the Super Bowl so that every time the camera would go to her, you'd see him. And apparently the day of the Super Bowl, they didn't let him in. They were like, nah, you can't. Yeah, they were like, no. The NFL was like, we're not doing this.
Oh,
I don't know if that's 100% true, but it's been said
that sounds like some Kanye shit.
It does.
That would have been hilarious.
It would have been pretty funny. Yeah, it would have been pretty hilarious. Old Kanye, crazy as hell.
Dude, you see these videos of it's from the cameras in the Mahomes Kelsey box, like where his wife and shit is, and it's like they release videos of her just like talking shit. I'll have to send you that, man.
Which one?
Dude, it was one talking about
Mahomes' wife?
Yeah. talking about I'm gonna have to hear it for the next week. Like talking about just complaining, man. Like, dude, that shit had me tripping.
My husband makes $500 million.
My husband makes $500 million. Like he wants to come home and eat and go to sleep.
Yeah, and he tries to tell me I shouldn't act like a fucking bitch in public.
How about the video of his dumbass little brother trying to get into his wife's I guess her area at the club or whatever, her little party, and they just shut it down.
They definitely are examples of like people making dumb people famous, like online internet making dumb people famous. And
Patrick Mahomes just seems like the coolest, like down to earth dude, and like he's got these dumbass people around.
Yeah, he sounds like Kermit the Frog, but other than that, he seems like a pretty chill guy.
Yeah, and you seen him on that? Did you watch that quarterback documentary?
Yeah, it was really good.
He's always working, man. Like even when he's not like working out and doing shit at the facility, he's in private gyms with trainers and shit. Like he puts in the work, man. He's good. Yeah, man. He's solid. He's only 28, bro. Like,
yeah, he's gonna be doing this for a while.
I think they'll at least get one more.
I know
before it's all said and done.
People compare him to Tom Brady, and Tom Brady did.
I ain't gonna do that.
Tom Brady did the same thing though. He won 3 really fast, and then it was a 10-year gap before he won another one. So we'll see what happens though. Well, I think it really is going to depend on if how much longer Andy Reid decides to hang out and coach, because he's getting up there in age. But, yeah, man.
And you never know with these coaches, man. They retire out of nowhere. That Nick Saban would surprise me.
NILs, 100%. The reason why he was like, hell with it, man. We won the SEC this year. You know, made it the playoff. Like, I think that's good. We'll call it a career. He was up there in age, too, though. But...
yeah, he was saying that he was more tired. He said he couldn't like do another season, like not sleeping but 3 hours a night, and, you know, shit like that. I couldn't do that shit now in my 30s.
Yeah,
they put in them hours, dog.
Yo, we'll do a quick story real quick before we sign off, dude. Speaking of the Milestone in the summertime, do you remember that first time we did a show at the Milestone? And how fucking hot it was.
Yeah, dude. I felt like I was going to die.
It literally was one of those days where it was like 108 outside. Like, literally was like 108 on the heat index. And, dude, it was every bit of that on the inside of that building.
What day was hotter, though? Was it our first Milestone show, or was it that Beat Made?
That first Beat Made.
Oh, my God.
That first Beat Made in downtown Atlanta. God, it was so hot, dude.
Bro, in that video... I'm glistening in sweat, bro.
And we were on, dude, it was early in the day. It wasn't even the heat of the day yet. It was so hot. Miserably hot, man. Just
miserable. We didn't drink a drop of alcohol, none of us, while we were there, dude. It was so
I tell you,
hot.
There's a funny story of that first Beat Made was we were looking to buy some stuff. You know, some legal tobacco. We were looking to buy some legal tobacco, and they were security guards walking around. And every time we would like walk up to try and talk to somebody about buying some legal tobacco, the security guards would kind of walk over towards us like they were trying to eavesdrop. We were like, damn, man, they're trying to listen in, trying to see who's got it, man. You know?
It's bullshit.
And then after a few hours, we found out the reason why they were doing that is because the security guards were selling illegal tobacco. And we were like, oh, man, we thought y'all was trying to kick us out or something. And they was like, no, man, we got it.
And we wasn't even supposed to perform first. Like, we were the very first people to perform, I think, weren't we? Yeah. We were supposed to go on later in the day, like in the mid part of the day, like 5 o'clock or some shit like that.
Because we were one of the only out-of-town artists that came to that first one.
Yeah. I was the first person to get booked on that shit. Like, as soon as Stevie posted the flyer for it, I was like, yo, I'm on.
Yeah, that was a relationship made from networking at shows, man.
Yeah. The Masquerade.
Yep. Shout out Masquerade.
Hell yeah.
The OG Masquerade that ain't there no more.
We saw, first time we met Stevie, he was outside selling tickets before a show, and he opened up, him and Mr. 420.
Killed it.
And remember, we was like, yo, we're going to be performing with him, like, next year. And boy, it wasn't even a year, man. We was already on it.
Yeah, that was dope, man, seeing them come out and all the locals knowing who they were.
Bro, I'm telling you.
It was just like watching F. Dukes open up in Charlotte.
Yeah,
you know, watching F. Dukes open up.
It was exactly like that, dude.
Yeah.
And Stevie was dope, man. Like he put on whenever he did them shows.
Yeah, he did. He was a grinder back in the day for sure, man. He used to grind out to do shows and stuff.
Yeah. That was the good old days. Now you just gotta email and hope somebody will let you book, dude.
And I'll tell you what, they don't email you back most of the time. That sucks. Mm-hmm. At least email me back and tell me no. You know what I mean? But
yeah, it used to be so easy to book shows, but all the venues are leaving.
Yep.
But we do got the Angry Chair show.
Yep.
Cystic fibrosis benefit.
Two shows coming up. Friday, March 8th at the Rooster in Gastonia. It's going to be a great show. Mm-hmm. Tickets for that are $10 pre-sale, $20 at the door. And then Friday, April 12th at Gadgets in Lugoff, which is now called A&B Bar and Grill, I believe. They're remodeling right now.
A&B Bar.
But, yeah, so Angry Chair, that's going to be, right now, as of right now, I don't know if we're going to do pre-sale tickets to that, but we're definitely going to be doing $20 at the door. And for right now, it's Angry Chair. We might add another band or two, and that's going to be hosted by SATU TV. So that's going to be pretty dope. And every single dollar from that show is going straight to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation.
Yes.
And
good cause,
yeah,
man.
Great cause, great strides. In the name of Team Lane, that's going to be a good night. So, yeah.
Hashtag Team Lane.
But, yeah, so, this Sunday we'll be posting the episode with Shane, interviewing Shane. And then, yeah, we'll try to keep these episodes coming, man. Yeah, I'm having fun doing this.
Yeah, dog.
I really am having a good time doing these. So, appreciate y'all for checking in.
Make sure you share, like, and subscribe. All that good shit. You know the drill.
Yep. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all take it easy.
We out.